All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Cyrus Seti. You already know what it is. We got that fire commentary. Black Power, Black politics, history, culture. You already know what it is. We looking at what's going on overseas, because that most definitely affect us right here in the pocketbook. You already know what it is. It affects you, your gas, where you're going, how you're going to get there, your food, how it's going to get to the distribution and all of that. And so before we get started, I want you to get over there to Patreon, click that link in the top of the chat. We got some 5 videos on Patreon, or close to 600 exclusive live streams. We done brought that Kamala Harris out. She say she gonna run again. You better get hip to her history and all the occultism that surrounded Kamala Harris's family, the secret relationship between Jewish rabbis and Hindu Brahmins. Man, this is got everything to do with her situation, the Jew she's married to. Also, I want you to get over. Do I got it in there? Let me put it in there right quick. About her maternal grandmother and grandfather, Brahmins, a caste elite, Illuminati over there in India, and who see black peoples as outcasts and untouchables. That's right. That's right. We talking about, there it is, right there. Her grandmother and grandfather, Brahmins who see black people as untouchables. You better get over there and get that information because it's deep. All right, family, let's get on down to the get down. India and China are trying to undermine the United States in the Iranian conflict, which they was going to do, which they know they was going to do. And so this is how you deal with your adversaries. They tell you to break up the alliances. That's what they tell you to do. You got to break up the alliances of your adversaries. You see what I'm saying? And you got to make them forge fake alliances. And so this right here between China just jumped on India some years back. They up there beefing over land. They having these land disputes, and the land supposed to be India, and China China a big bully. They just didn't move on the land. They didn't already built city. They'll come in and start building a city real quick. That's how they is. They'll start putting up infrastructure if you're not watching. And so they didn't went up in a matter of 30 days. That's how they put them fake islands out in the middle of the South China Sea. If you ain't watching them, just out of nowhere, you'll see a damn island appear somewhere. And so the land was India's, and so they didn't, they happened to be up there and come up there, and China already got villages on the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell is going on? So they be beefing over, land disputes and things of that nature. But and so and they got into a little tussle up there, and from my understanding, it was small, but some people's got hurt. Yeah, some people's got hurt in the scuffle and things of that nature. And so, India looking real weak, to go side, and that's why maybe they're quiet, because they know at the end of the day, if you once you become vocal, and you choose a side, and then you choose the wrong side, Marty, yeah. Yeah, you choose the wrong side, Marty. And so he quiet because he already know. He already know who gonna come out on top. And Xi Jinping, you can't, at the end of the day, they gonna punish China, because China trying to be slick. They want to try to get some artillery in to Iran by a third party. The information, the intelligence came out. Russia want to try to help Iran by giving them satellite imagery, GPS on United States bases and locations of of armory, ships, planes and all of that. And so, yeah, that's Russia, and but all that gonna stop. All that, and it ain't, and it's not helping them no way because they done bombed everything over there, and they're gonna rebomb the shit. You see what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. So if they gonna want to get to any type of normalcy, they're gonna have to give up the damn uranium, black power. They're gonna have to come up with the uranium. That's just all it is. We are at a point, and listen to me, family, because I'm just sick of y'all. I want you to get a ticket, and I want you to move to Iran. That's what I want you to do. I want you to get your outfit. You see, let me put my Iranian up there. I got to get my Iranian. Where my Iranian at? I had it up there. Yeah. I'll find it in a minute. I had that shit. That shit so funny. I couldn't stop laughing, man. I was laughing about 2 hours straight. You know what I'm saying? Where that damn picture at, man? It's coming up too. It's coming. There you go. That's one of 'em. That's one of 'em right there. No, not that. Let me take that one out. There it is right there. You can get your ticket and you can go on over there right now and chill with Abdullah. You understand what I'm saying? And they done bombed all my goats. They bombed all my goats, all my camels. I don't know how I'm gonna come back from this. I don't know how I'm gonna come back from this. All my goat, all my camel, all of them, they gone. Oh man, who told them to fuck with the United States, man? Who told them that China, you ain't shit, you ain't helping us, China? You know what I'm saying? So China want to stick their chests out now. China want to stick their Mahdi over there. He quiet as hell. He ain't saying nothing because he don't want no smoke. He ain't stupid. I'm gonna tell you, Mahdi didn't got wise. He didn't got wise. He know, that this is what's gonna have to happen. And he gonna lay back. He gonna say the world should be peaceful. The world should be, but he's not gonna take no stands because why open your mouth and come out on the losing end? You see, they're gonna come out on the losing end. So they let, and so you got these. I seen China. It was China. It was Russia, Spain with their weak ass. Because Donald Trump didn't punked the whatever. I don't know if he got presidents of Spain, prime ministers, whatever. Went over there, punked him because Spain said the United States couldn't take off from their soil along with France, and so all of them being suckers right now. You see, and this is what had to happen. You know what I'm saying? This is what had. This is like when you watching what is that? King of New York. King of New York. And when Frank Wright had just got out of jail and shit, and he went over there and he went over there to the Italians and shit. And he went over there to tell them, I'm back. You feel what I'm saying? I'm back. You see what I'm saying? And I don't give a goddamn what you was doing while I was gone, but I'm back. You see, and if a nickel gets sold in the park, I won't in. That's what he told them. I won't in. And that's what's happening now. That's how the world moves anyway. I know people think that it's gonna be some utopia and people's is gonna be I think they're gonna be tiptoeing through the tulips and shit, barefooted, and and everybody, the birds gonna be, chirping, and you're gonna be hearing the butterflies and all. It ain't gonna be none of that shit. You niggas is living in an illusion. You see, power rules the world, and it has been that way now for probably about 8-9. It really been that way for about 8-9,000 years now. Power rules the world. Even when you go to Egypt, you can look and they had, the smiting of the enemies. They had start cracking heads, very early, in Egyptian society. So even back then, it had already come to that, where, you know what I'm saying, it's about who gonna be the big dog. That's it. It ain't no it's gonna be no little, no utopia and all. That's motherfuckers living in a, in a daydream and shit, you know. And so, you have to pick the side, and you have to choose the right side, and a lot of people want to live in an illusion, maybe, because people want, they want to be the big dog. And I used to see, people used to talk about Muhammad Ali. They say Muhammad Ali, he ain't what he used to be, and he, I'm gonna kick his ass, and man, Muhammad Ali still would come out on top. You see, he still would come on. That's why he's the greatest and shit, even when the odds was against him, even when he fought George Foreman, the odds was against Ali. You see, they was going for, they said George Foreman was going to kill Ali. But, that's what people will say about, oh, he's whiny. The United States is whiny. I know all nations whine. You understand what I'm saying? All nations whine. It come a time when, all nations, they rise to the height, and then, they come down. But as I can see right now, militarily, the United States is not waning. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. They doing the same shit they've been doing for the last 75 years, and it don't look like it's gonna change tomorrow. And Marty know that, and he's gonna keep his goddamn mouth quiet because he know that the United States gonna come out on top. And everybody else that went against all that NATO, man, he gonna punk all they been punked already, because he already gonna come out on top, and then he's gonna marginalize they ass. They already marginalized. They don't do shit. They don't do a goddamn thing, but want somebody else to fight they fucking wars. Europe is so weak. They're weak. You understand what I'm saying? What the hell? Go over there and handle that shit over in Ukraine your goddamn self. Do that. Man up. Y'all too busy over there wanting to be girls. That's what's wrong with y'all over there. And the girls want to be boys. That's what's wrong with y'all over there. You see what I'm saying? So y'all don't want to go over there. Y'all want somebody else to fight your war. So anytime it comes to having resolve about dealing with a military conflict, you can't go to them. Europe is so weak now, it's ridiculous. They was always weak. They jumped on people that didn't get a chance to really, and that's just history, you know what I'm saying? But now people have learned in many of these nations that they have oppressed and pillaged today are more powerful than they ever been. And so they whine a lot. They try to pretend that they're being diplomatic because they don't want nobody to kick off in their ass. You see what I'm saying? And they want the United States to protect them from Vladimir Putin. You see what I'm saying? And so, come from up, y'all deal with that. And if he kick off in y'all ass, too damn bad. You feel me? I'll let them fight for their damn self. But anyway, that's smarter Marty to do what he's doing, because he already know they're gonna feel the pain for a minute. But and as soon as the United States win, watch if I'm lying, I'm flying. Then he gonna come out, and then he gonna want to shake some hands. He gonna want to shake some hands, because a lot of people gonna have to make the deal with the United States. It's going to have to be a lot of deals made through the United States. They're not coming from over there without no power. They're going to assume some power. They're going to have more power. People saying that they're going to wane over there. That's a goddamn lie. They ain't going to wane. Them Arabs is going to get more goddamn military from the United States than they ever had. They're going to militarize all that shit over there because they seen they didn't have enough. Now they going to strap up over there. And if Iran, man, they going to have all them Arabs is going to bomb the shit out of their air. They're just going to be shooting. You understand what I'm saying? But they most definitely going to get their they most definitely gonna start buying a whole lot more military from the United States. But anyway, family, we be black in a second. We got one more video for the early afternoon, and then we coming back in prime time, man. The brain, the pain. Make sure you get over there the Patreon and get that work. Make sure that's Iran. You know what I'm saying? That's Iran. But get over there, get that work. Kamala Harris's Hindu Brahmin family, the most racist caste system on earth. Also get over there and get that the secret relationship between Jewish rabbis and Hindu Brahmins. Man, this is fire, man. This is fire for the soul. Get over there, and I'll see y'all black in a minute. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, comment, and share this with your family and friends. Black power.